Hi, I just got back a little bit ago from seeing FNAF 2. I usually don't make these kind of videos. Most of the time I'm just take funny gameplay, clip it together, edit it a little bit, ship it out. But I kind of wanted to get more into the flow of actually talking about things. Am I good with talking about things? No, not in the slightest. But I figured, if fucking Moist Critical can do it, so can I. I want to talk about the movie itself and the whole experience, but something fun anyway. First of all, before I get to the actual movie experience itself though, I want to talk about the few things that happened beforehand. By the time we got there, I believe it released today. I don't think it was on early release where we were at. And quite a bit upsetting. I mean, it's not like we really needed to spend the extra money anyways, the extra $20 for a Freddy Faz bowl. Unfortunately, the theater we went to was Freddy Faz sold out of all the Freddy Faz buckets and all the Freddy Faz cups. So it was a little bit upsetting. I don't need the fucking $30, $40 popcorn tins that they're selling at like certain theaters or wherever they had here. But usually when me and my girlfriend go to the theater, we like to get we get like one cup each. I think most of the cups in our cabinet, like in our house, is literally just ones that we got from the movies. Unfortunately, the only cups that they were still selling at this theater were for Wicked. So I got this Wicked cup, but to our shock though, is one of the theaters is currently over. Everyone's coming out, and we see so many people with the Freddy Faz buckets, it's honestly upsetting. What a heartbreak, what a tragedy. I was really hoping to bring home a Freddy Faz bucket of my... a Freddy Faz bucket of my own. But unfortunately, that just wasn't in the Freddy Faz cards for me, so now I'm a little Freddy Faz sad, but that's okay. Freddy Faz life moves on. I feel like these theaters really gotta do like a better job of stocking this shit, like especially like the Sonic movie too. The same shit happened with the Sonic movie. Thankfully, we were able to get like the last couple bits of merch, all the Sonic themed stuff for the Sonic movie. Because I think we went to like the earliest possible showing for that. Because I love that blue bastard. So that was great. But you'd think with as popular as these properties are, they'd try maybe just a little bit harder. Because Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those franchises where it doesn't even matter if the movie is good or cohesive. People are gonna go see it for the Bear Man. I'm just gonna spew a bunch of bullshit so you're not missing much, but just one more side tangent. When we got to the theater, it was fine. We got in there, it was empty, and I was like, oh shit, we got the whole theater to ourselves. This is great. This is before it filled up. The theater didn't get too full, but there was these two people that sat behind us and were the most annoying people in the face of the planet. Pretty much the entire time they sat behind us, during the previews, during the movie, during everything, literally any time something happened in the movie, they would just snicker and go, that's so goofy. That's so weird. Yeah, thanks for the input, fucker. It's one thing to think something is goofy and wacky. The whole time I was watching FNAF 2, shit would happen, and I'd be like, huh, that's kind of fucking cringe. But I wasn't sitting here going, like, I'm not sitting here letting the whole theater know, hey guys, I think that this is goofy as fuck. If you were those two people, genuinely, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I'm so sick of this shit. You go into a fucking movie like the fucking Minecraft movie, the FNAF movie, Mario movie, any of this shit, okay? It's gonna be a goofy ass movie. Most of these movies made off of like big properties are gonna be like some goofy ass shit. But like, we get it. It's fucking weird. But I don't want to sit here and hear it's so fun. Shut the fuck up. When you go into a movie, I feel like it's just like an unwritten rule. I don't know if it's just me. I feel it's like an unwritten fucking rule. You can fucking talk and joke during the prequels, during the fucking ads, everything. The moment that movie starts, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. I don't care how unserious the movie is. I don't care how bad it is. You shut the fuck up. I paid $15 for this ticket to come and watch this movie, not listen to your opinion of it the whole fucking time. Shut the fuck up. This goes on another side tangent. There was all those problems with like the fucking Minecraft movie. I went to go see it with my family. And of course, I feel like babbling kids is like one thing. Like, you can't really control kids. They just won't shut the fuck up ever. And you're gonna point shit out. But when I went to my showing of the Minecraft movie, there was these like 5 to 6 boys who came in like full dressed suits. And the moment I saw them walk in the theater, I was like, well, fuck, it's all over. The entire time, and I'm not kidding, the entire time during the fucking movie, anytime it was like, the thing from Minecraft. It's like, Chicken Jackie, your slime cube, another. Every single time they said that shit, I'm not kidding, they got up out of their seat and they're like, woo! Yeah! Woo! My God! Jack Black! I can't stand this shit. That shit is so goddamn annoying. I will reiterate once more. You go into the theater, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. I did not come to pay to listen to your incoherent bullshit. Anyways, enough of that rage out of the way. Yeah, if you were the two people who sat behind us during the FNAF 2 movie, go fuck yourselves. I hate you. Anyways, let's talk about the movie itself, though. I just want to say this right off the bat. I think that the second FNAF movie is a lot more interesting than the first one, at least. It's a little weird to talk about, though, because, like, I feel like the first one did a better job at seeming cohesive and sticking to the lore, and that's not really a problem with the second one. I feel like the second one really sticks to it really well, too. It's just, there's so much bullshit shoved in there that it's just, like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, yeah, I guess I haven't said it yet, but, I'm about to talk about the movie. Like, I'm about to talk about bits and pieces of the movie, so spoiler alert for that. You have been warned. And if you were the two people sitting behind us during the premiere, fuck you. There was, like, a bunch of shit in this movie. First of all, I want to mention this. I'm not the biggest fan of the marionette. I really don't fucking care for them. Like, probably got to be one of my least favorite FNAF characters, if I'm being honest. And if that upsets you, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's just my opinion. But I remember the movie opening up, and let me just say, the intro to this movie was fucking immaculate. Like, the way they fucking started up, you're rolling the credits and everything, and the guy's, like, counting down, and it starts playing, like, the banger-ass music. I'm sorry, the intro to the fucking FNAF movie, the music to that is fucking phenomenal. That shit is a straight fucking banger. I was sitting here fucking banging my head the whole time. That shit was great. But anyways, yeah, the movie opens up, and I'm seeing, like, a lot of graphics of the marionette, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, I hope this movie isn't just about the marionette. The movie was just about the fucking marionette. So the movie starts out and we see Henry's daughter, Charlotte, get brutally murdered, off screen, by the way, by Mr. Springtrap, aka William Afton, aka Shaggy, aka Matthew Lillard, aka Ghostface. And of course the murder's off screen. You just kind of like see Springtrap start to go and he's getting going and she's almost to the door, but of course she gets stabbed like right beforehand. I'm not really sure how the fuck this went down. The adrenaline must have pushed her forward because like you could see he got a couple good stabs on her and you think that would have been like just her fall over, die, and she drag him back, but no, she manages to get out into the stage and she just looks at everyone and fucking screams and everyone looks at her and she just falls down. There's like 3 to 4 stab wounds in her back. Honestly, you go, girl. That's some fucking girl boss power. You got stabbed like 4 times in the fucking back, and you still walked out on that shit. I mean, you died, but you made it out there. Your voice was heard, and you saved that little boy. Also, I'm not really sure what's going on with that, too, because beforehand, the reason why she gets stabbed by Springtrap is because she's going to, like, find this little boy because she sees a little boy get kidnapped, you know, taken in the back of Freddy's, you know. Matthew Lillard is killing Matthew Lillard is killing people. So, you know, first thing you do as a child, try to find a trusted adult. Unfortunately, none of the adults here are trusted because all of them are like, sweetie, the adults are talking. I'm busy. Go find someone else. Which I think is absolutely wild because if a little girl tugs on your shirt and says, hey, I think I saw a little boy get murdered over there. I think he got taken to the back. I think he's going to get murdered. And your first response is, well, that's not my problem. I just think that's fucking wild. So she goes back there to get this boy, and I'm guessing that the boy had just passed out or whatever the fuck, or like Springtrap put him to sleep. I don't get why he wouldn't have just been murdered because like when she brings him, she carries him and brings him back out onto that stage before she screams and falls over. The boy's fine. Gets out of her arms fucking fine. Which beforehand he was laying on this dirty ass floor in like a back kitchen or back room or something. It's like, so you weren't harmed at all? What the fuck happened? Like, what? Was he just preparing to kill you? What the fuck was this? Another thing I find weird in this scene, this is just a small niche thing. So, you know, the whole thing about the springlock suits, especially like, the suit that William is wearing. In the game's lore, it's like, you know, he starts sweating a little bit too much, or he's crying or bleeding, whatever the fuck it was. Some sort of liquid activates the spring locks, which causes them to malfunction or whatever the fuck. Now, while that didn't happen in the first movie, I'm assuming that, like, the laws, physics, or the lore, however this works, still apply, which is a little weird to me because while he's like in full spring lock suit, he's just like washing something with water. Like he has the sink on, he's running the sink, he's like fucking washing something, I guess like a knife or something. And I'm like, what? It's a weird fucking scene to me because like the whole thing of spring lock suits is like, don't get them wet, don't get them near water. That could be really bad. He's just fucking over here actively running water. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. I don't know. Yeah, all this shit happens. I don't even know what the fuck he's washing anyway. Because, like, you didn't kill the boy yet. You're not washing the knife. The boy was fine. Nothing happened to him. Anyways, intro sequence plays out. Silly thing happens. You know, she dies on stage. And then, what do you know? She just happens to die the moment the puppet that she had been waiting for decides to pop out. So, you know, she falls down there, you know, fucking intertwined. I don't really get it. Anyway, intro sequence plays out. We see that Freddy Fazbear, Fazbabaz, has covered up this whole thing like, ooh, you know what? It's not our fault, actually. We didn't do it. We're not to blame. And, you know, that whole thing fucking blows over. You know how Freddy Fazbear's is. They get into some fucking hot trouble, and then they're just like, oh, well, we didn't do it. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. It's such a funny franchise because not just the movies, but like the games too. How do you build like a 7th location, okay? Like you got all these locations. You build like another one after like hundreds of children have been murdered in your restaurant. How do you build another one? But what's even crazier is the fact that like these parents or these people that know about Freddy's history, they're like, yeah, well, a lot of children have been murdered there in the past, but I think it'd be a great place for little Jimmy's birthday party. Honestly, it's not even all Fazbear's fault. It's the fucking parents. You're fucking stupid. If I had heard that there were like dozens of murders happening, if I had heard that there was like dozens of murders happening at Chuck E. Cheese's all across the country, why the fuck would I bring my child to a Chuck E. Cheese unless you live under a fucking rock? But how would you not know about that shit? You don't watch the news, you don't want to see any media, you don't look this shit up. The gossip is gonna spread. It's gonna be like a wide term thing like, hey, did you hear about those kids that died at Chuck E. Cheese? Like, it's going to get to you one way or another. So even if you did live on a rock, this information is going to fucking get to you somehow. But anyway, yeah, so that's goofy as hell. And of course, the first part of the movie is really slow because it's going over, you know, Mike and his shit and fucking Vanessa or whatever. It's showing, like, the aftermath of the first movie. And, you know, that's fine and all. But, you know, of course, when you go to see a movie about the big animal characters and they're not on screen, it's just boring as fuck. Like, the entire time I was watching, like, Sonic the Hedgehog, like, all 3 of those movies, any time that it was just the human characters, I could have actively fallen asleep at any moment. Like, I came to see the little blue hedgehog, not some random-ass white dude. So, you know, first bits of the movie are a little slow, but then we move over a bit, and we're seeing the new location, aka the old location. New to us, but old in the lore. Like, the first ever Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, you know, with the toy animatronics and all the other ones. Basically, these teens roll up and I guess they're like some fucking ghost hunters or some shit. Like it's like a little ghost hunting show or whatever the hell. And they're like, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, whatever. And they're talking about, so are we gonna have to break in here? Oh no, we got exclusive access from a guy who works there named Mike. We're gonna be able to waltz on in to get as much footage as we need. And at this point you think, that's weird. Why would Mike be letting these random people into the pizzeria despite knowing the risks or like all the shit? Like they're actual haunted spirits in this shit who are going to kill anyone who steps in who isn't him or Abby. But then the funny thing happens. You roll up and they're like, so you're Mike? And then it pans the camera around and it's like, oh yeah, but you can call me Michael. And it's at this moment that you're just like, huh? Which I just want to say this. I want to say this really quickly. The guy they got to play Michael Afton, fucking phenomenal. The entire time that motherfucker was on screen, I just had this creeping feeling of dread. I'm just like, this motherfucker's creeping me the hell out. With the way he was looking at them, his little smile, he did a very good job. So, you know, it plays out like you think it does. He leads them in there, everyone gets killed off one by one. But of course, one of these characters ends up going downstairs where the marionette is. And there's this music box that is playing on repeat. And of course, it's like, you know, this is the sound she was following. She's like, Do you hear that? And they're like, no, man, you're fucking crazy. What are you, crazy? So she goes down there and she's like, she finds a music box, turns it off. And at this moment, being one who has viewed the game, I was like, oh shit, that's gonna piss off the puppet. So of course, music box stops, box opens up, and, you know, fuck it, big ominous box starts opening out of nowhere. Why don't we fucking take a peek inside? The weird thing about the puppet in this, though, is I get the whole thing of FNAF is like the dead children, the spirits and shit. Last I checked, they can possess the animatronic suits. I don't remember the part where the puppet itself can possess people, though. So basically what happens, box opens up, you get the fucking, your first jump scare with the puppet. There's a lot of those in this movie. And then you see this lady get dragged by, and, you know, the couple other, the other dudes that were with them, they get killed, you know, it doesn't really matter, just showcasing the other fucking animatronics or whatever the hell. Animalmatronics. Michael goes down to the basement where the puppet is supposed to be, and she sees this girl getting, like, I guess mid-possession or whatever the fuck, can't see her face or whatever. She finally crawls around, and she has those fucking crazy goo eyes, and then he's just like, oh fuck. So, you know, he gets the hell out of there, and now there is this possessed girl down here in the Freddy's, and he runs out of the building, and he's just like, welcome back, Charlotte. Like, what? This motherfucker is creepy as hell. It's really funny, though, because after this scene, I'm not kidding, Michael just fucks off for the rest of the movie. You see Michael during the first scene and the last scene. I feel like there was a heavy underusage of Michael Afton in this movie, because he shows up just to be a creepy bastard at the beginning, and then he shows up at the end to be a creepy bastard. Okay, so moving on the plot, we're going to shift our focus to Abby real quick, because that's going to be, you know, the next plot of the movie. Basically, you know, it shows that Abby went and got into robotics for obvious reasons. There's a big science fair next week, and the teacher is stressing that everyone needs to be on time, and for some fucking reason, he is just being an absurdly huge dick to Abby. Like, a major fucking chode. He's like, are you going to have your project done by next week? And she's like, yeah, I think I will. And he's just like, I don't think you are. And it just shows him crossing the name out of the list. And she's like, and he's basically like, you know what you can do to help us? You know what you can do to help our school? Don't show up. Fuck off. Fuck you. You fucking suck. Basically, this man is just the worst fucking teacher ever. Basically tells her all her shit's trash. Is not gonna fucking enter. Basically, she comes home from school. She gets sad, you know, whatever. She's sitting there. Mike is going on a date with Vanessa or whatever the hell. But anyway, she asks Mike, she's like, Papa, can I please go back to the creepy abandoned pizzeria? And he's just like, no, how about let's not do that? Basically, the whole lie that he's saying is like, they're broken. I'll fix them one day. And I guess he's been saying that for a while, like ever since the first movie, and basically she's had enough of this. You know, she just had a really bad day. She just wants to go see these creepy old ass robots, you know, because that's what makes her happy. And he's basically just like, no. There's a 20 on the table if you want some pizza, though. So Mike goes off on his date, and of course Abby is like, you know what, I'm just gonna go down there. I don't care. So she ends up going down there, blah, blah, blah. Mike gets home, sees that she's gone. Oh no, I gotta go get her. Go to the pizzeria, of course. Nothing's wrong. She's just sitting there on this, looking at this little empty stage, and she's just like sad, you know. And I will say, this part of the movie was cute. They had a cute little, like, exchange. He's, like, doing this thing, and he's like, well, guess what? You want 1 million fast tickets? You can have whatever you want. He starts, like, rummaging through all, like, the old arcade prizes or whatever the hell. It's actually a really adorable scene. Probably one of the better scenes in this movie, if I had to say. So she sees off in the distance. She sees, like, this little, the Faz talker thing, you know, the thing they've been teasing in the trailers or whatever. Like, the little toy Freddy face, and it's like, oh, you type stuff in, they talk to you. And of course, you know, it's gonna be possessed, but they don't know that. So she picks that out, and there's this other funny interaction I want to mention. It's really I think it's really fucking hilarious. He, like, picks up a little Freddy plush while she's playing with it, and, like, he, like, taps it, and it makes that, like, it makes that fucking fucked up Freddy noise from the memes. I don't know. I just thought that shit was, like, absurdly hilarious. It was, like, the equivalent to when they did, like, the Sonic picture of the crazy guy in Sonic 1. That shit was fucking hilarious. So, she picks out this thing, go home, she starts obsessing over it, trying to connect with these spirits somehow. And, eventually she's sleeping, and then it's just like, Abby, you need to come find us. You need to help us. That is the puppet, aka Charlotte, talking to her through the thing. And she's like, I will give you directions. Come on. Vamonos. So she ends up at the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza where all these animatronics are. Chica comes out. She's just like, oh, hey, what up? What's up, dog? Just hug, full embrace. And the entire time, every time Abby hugs these animatronics, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, she's gonna crush them. Like, every time any of these characters are close to these robots, I just think, oh, they're about to die. Basically, she's just like, oh my god, Chica, look at you. You look great, and you got a new body. Flash forward to the next scene. She wakes up the next morning, and Vanessa comes in looking for Mike, but of course she goes to Abby first. And there's like this little tiny plastic see-through Chica on the desk. And she's like, did you make that? And she's just like, yeah, but Chica helped me, and Freddy tried to help, but his hands were too big. And understandably, Vanessa's like, huh? And one of the crazy parts kind of happens here. She goes to breakfast. Mike gives her the breakfast. Mike and Vanessa step outside, and then Vanessa starts going off, and she's like, I think Abby went back to another restaurant. She's talking. She's like going there and like talking to these animatronics again. Something crazy's happening. And Mike is basically just like, no, I don't want to get involved in this. You're fucking crazy. That didn't happen. Stop lying to me. Which I think is a little absurd because literally the night before, she had gone to the other pizzeria looking to find these busted animatronics. And now all of a sudden Vanessa's telling you that she left the house again, went to another pizzeria again, like a different one. It was doing this shit all over again. And all of a sudden it's just like, no, I don't think that happened. And if it did, honestly, I don't want any part of it. I just want to get back to my normal life. I don't want anything to do with this. Which is really funny because it's like a Scooby-Doo episode where it's like they're constantly dealing with like these supernatural entities, and man, they turn out being like just random rich guys in the end. But they're used to dealing with this freaky ass shit, and then Scooby and Shaggy will be like Shaggy will be like, man, I swear I saw the fucking gabagool down the street there, Fred. And Fred's just like, I don't know what you're talking about, Shaggy. Shut the fuck up. What is with this shit? In these worlds where there's some freak shit happening, everyone has seen the freak shit happening, but when one character is like, hey, I saw some freak shit happening, everyone's like, nah, you're fucking crazy. It's just funny. Basically, Abby had made this little robot to enter in the science fair. Mike takes her to the science fair. And she's going to get set up while Mike is going to investigate something else. He found a little flyer on the Fazbear's Pizza, and he's like calling a number to see what it's all about, some mysterious thing like, oh, Fazbear's murder. So he's going to investigate that. Abby is at the science fair, and she's brought her tiny little toy Chica, and supposedly this is a fully functioning robot. Like, it works. It's there. It's good. So she gets in there, and she is immediately intercepted by Mr. Asshole here, who's basically just like, Abby, what are you doing here, man? What are you doing? And she's like, oh, well, look, I brought my project. It's finished. It works now. He's just like, man, that really sucks. But there's no booths for you, man. There's nowhere you can set up. And then we see like the kid at the beginning of the movie who's like buddy with Abigail, like this young little boy, little sweetheart. He's like moved all of his shit to the side so that they can share a booth together. And she's like, well, I can get set up right there. Like, there's a spot right there. And he's like, you know what? You're right. He's like, here, why don't we take this? He takes the robot out of her hands. He's like, why don't we take this and we'll move it over to a safe spot. Oh, whoopsies. Oh no, your thing's broken. I guess I'll show you the door. Like, this guy is a major dick. Major fucking dick. It's even called out in the movie, like, after she leaves, you hear it off in the signs. You're a dick, Mr. And he's like, who said that? So Mike's off doing his thing right now. We'll get to him in a moment. Basically, she runs back to the other Freddy's location, and she's like, Chica, they broke the little baby Chica. Who's that? And she's like, bing, I have an idea. Why don't I be your science fair project? And at this moment, I'm like, oh my God, I hope she fucking kills the teacher. It's so funny. They played up this teacher to be such a dick. I was like, God, I really hope this fucker bites it. So she's like, well, I can be your science project. I'll go with you. And this is where you see the plot where these animatronics, the toy animatronics, the puppet, they cannot leave this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza because apparently there's something in their code where if they step foot outside of the restaurant, they will be drained of all their power and just shut down. Basically, what she needs to do is go onto the computer and type in a code to disable that so they can just kind of roam freely and do whatever the hell they want. So good old Vanessa here, she was going to investigate beforehand. Side plot, by the way. She was going to investigate beforehand, and she goes down to where the marionette is at, and she's like, I'll stop you. I can't. Whatever you're doing, stop it. And I'm gonna stop you. And of course, she instantly gets fucking captured because, like, what was your plan? Legitimately, what the fuck was your plan, Vanessa? Just, anyways, she gets captured. So basically the marionette now, Charlotte, she's threatening to kill Abby if she doesn't give her the code. So, you know, Vanessa gives her the code and then she fucking has Chica read it off to Abby. She disables the thing and now they're able to roam freely. So, you know, her and Chica end up going back to the science fair. She gets in here without any question somehow. She's showing off Chica. Teacher comes back. And it just keeps going. Teacher comes back, which, by the way, she has, like, the biggest fucking, like, robot here. The biggest thing, the most interesting thing here. And he's still being a fucking dick. He's like, I can't believe you would make a person put on a suit, this cheap suit, and pass it as a robot. He's like, you're a disgrace to this community. That kid who built the little baking soda volcano over there, that's a true scientist. That is a real future scientist. You're a fraud. You're a nobody. Basically, he tells her to get that junk out of there. He doesn't believe it. So she's sad again, and Chica's like, I think I'll go have a talk with him. Which, in my mind, if I were Abby in this situation, I would be like, you're not gonna go kill him, are you? But no, she's just like, well, what are you gonna talk about? Oh, I just want to see what's inside that head of his. Which, once again, a big red flag. You would think Abby would be like, no, but she just lets it happen. But you know what? I don't care. I think the funny thing about this scene is she's specifically, like, hiding off to the side. She's like, I'm gonna go talk to him. Instead of confronting him, like, just head on and just get him right then and there, she chooses the fucking aura farm. He walks past this door as her eyes, like, turn on, and he's just like, who's that? And he goes back to look in there. He's like, I thought I saw something. So, of course, let's put our face as close to the glass as possible. And she fucking... Oh! So, she grabs him by the neck, throws him in there. A bunch of stuff happens. Basically, what I didn't expect, he gets killed. But Chica pulls a fucking Omni-Man. She fucking gets this guy, grabs him by the head, lifts him up, and fucking crushes his head like a melon, which is fucking absurd. Now, of course, we don't actually see this. You know, we can hear, like, this, like, for a still image beforehand, you can see him being held, you can hear bones breaking, but nothing's happening physically on the screen, of course. I feel like the one problem with the Freddy's franchise is, like, I saw it was being made by Blumhouse, and I was just like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be fucking good. The problem, though, is I think Scott and Mr. Blum, they know what kind of franchise they're running. They know what kind of franchise they're working with. Freddy is that kind of thing where parents see it and they're just like, huh, that's a cute little bear. Yeah, I'll let my kid play these games. I'll let them indulge. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Let me tell you something. If you are a parent, you need to be aware of what your child is doing. You don't have to invade their privacy per se. It's good for them to have a bit of privacy in here now and then. But if they're like talking to you about this thing, like, pay attention a little bit. I feel like modern parents nowadays, like, their kid would come up to them and be like, hey mom, I've been loving this new game that I got into recently. It's called Kill All the White People, and it's where you play as this guy who starts out as a cashier and then gets mad, and then he just starts killing every white person he sees. And the parents just like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. Mom, can I get this shirt that says kill all the white people on it? Because this is the game? Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's fine. But knowing this type of property that they're working with, Freddy Fazbear's, it would have been a great gory movie. Five Nights at Freddy's could have been an amazing horror movie if they would have been able to show the gore and shit. But unfortunately, I know that they dumbed it down because all of these fucking parents who don't look into or research what their kid likes would have brought their kids to that premiere and watched someone's frontal lobe get bit off. And then would have been like, oh, what? Why would they do this? Why would they market this? Why would they market this towards kids? It's never been marketed towards kids, Karen. You fucking dumbass. Sorry. But you get the gist. They knew that a bunch of kids were going to come see this. So, of course, anytime there's like any actual gore, it's dumbed down to hell. Any blood you see, you don't see it splatter. You just kind of see the aftermath. It's kind of like an episode of One Piece where Blackbeard is about to fight someone. He goes to fight them, screen fades to black, come back, it's all said and done, he's won. So basically, yeah, Chica pulls an Omni-Man with the teacher. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this is an absolute win. That guy was a dick. They built that guy up to get killed. They made that guy such an unlikable dick. I fucking saw it coming. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The rest of the movie is such a fucking blur. Like, what the actual fuck is going on? Basically, they got Chica fucking distracting Abby. Abby's doing her thing. Oh, to go back to the plot with Mike, by the way, he ends up going to see this guy who ends up just being Henry Emily. The most important guy in the entire franchise aside from William. The guy who made the animatronics. Just fucking, he's here. Which, once again, they chose another great actor. He looks great, and I think he did a great job in his role. But anyways, he was that guy who put up the flyer and was basically like, yeah, I suspected that my daughter was murdered. There's no way she would have done that on her own. Anyway, I forget what happens. All I know, Mike figures out Abby isn't in science fair. I think Vanessa called him. I fucking forget. So once again, Abby is just wandered off on her own, doing whatever the fuck she wants. And he's like, I gotta go find her. And before he leaves, Henry's like, oh, wait, before you go, you're going to encounter the puppet. So here is this item that you can use to stop them. This little music box. It'll put them to sleep. So he basically has like this one thing. I'm getting so fucking tired. So, now Mike has the one thing he needs to stop the puppet. Anyways, yeah, like I said, the rest of the movie is a fucking blur. I think everything after the whole science fair thing is so fucking shit. Basically, Abby's distracted with Chica. All these animatronics have free reign to kind of go wherever they want. And what happens? Freddy and Bonnie kind of start going out, and they go to these houses. And I guess Charlotte is like targeting the parents that were there at the incident, or the adults that denied to help her during the incident where she got killed. Somehow she just like has their exact address. It's like fucking, 20-something years later, they're just kind of still in the same home, kicking it the same old way. She just happens to know where they're at, so she sends these fucking animatronics to go get them. God, I'm so fucking tired. Earlier, there was like a whole part with Vanessa basically explaining to Mike, like, she's not mad at William himself. She's mad at the parents who didn't help. Who didn't help her when she needed help. And it's like, I get that. I do. It's just like, I'd feel a little vengeful about that too. But what do you mean you're not mad at the murderer? I'm upset that these people didn't help me. The guy who murdered me? Nah, I'm not worried about him. He's not the bad guy here. The real bad guys are these adults who wouldn't help. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I think one of the cooler One of the cooler sequences in this movie occurs around this time. So Mike is in the office and he's going to like get into the computer to try and track down where these animatronics are, cut off their connection, figure the shit out. And Vanessa is sent off to go get Abby because she's afraid she might be in danger. And this is one of the cooler sequences because Mike stays back and he's in that office from FNAF 2. And it's so fucking cool seeing this because it has the vent on the side and everything. The big fucking opening with no door. And he even says that. He's like, who designed this place? Is there not a door? Which, yeah, I agree. And it's like a 5-minute sequence, and it plays out kind of exactly like it would in the game, which is really fucking cool. So, you know, they had all those prototypes sitting in the back, the withered animatronics. He's starting to fuck with shit on the computer. The marionette catches on and reactivates the withered ones to try and stop him. So it's this whole sequence. Foxy, Freddy, Bonnie, they all try to get him. He finds the spare Freddy mask, and he's like, there's no way this would work. But it does. But what do you know? It isn't fooling Foxy. And this whole thing is really funny because Foxy is like coming at him. Like he's like a few feet away from me. He's trying to come at him. And instead of running, he just like looks up. He's like, oh, and he's like right there about to get him. And he's like, he just starts typing faster. I'm like, motherfucker, move. What? This sequence is just so funny because Foxy's like literally about to cleave his fucking face open. And instead of like moving to the side or running or anything, he just doubles down and he's like, I gotta get into the mainframe faster. What's even funnier is before that it even happened, Balloon Boy just comes in here and he doesn't do anything bad, by the way. But Balloon Boy contributes to the plot, not whatsoever. He's just there. Balloon Boy is just fucking there. He fucking shows up. He shows up in the office. He's just peering his little eyes above the monitor. Mike just fucking... He gets up. Balloon Boy doesn't move at all. He just fucking gets up, rips Balloon Boy's head off, and throws it to the side. I'm like, what the fuck? What did he do to warrant that? He didn't fucking do anything to you, dude. It's so funny. It's just like, so you're gonna do that to him. You're not gonna fuck around with these other animatronics? Whatever. I don't know. It's funny. He just rips his head smooth off and is just fucking done with him. It's so hilarious. But yeah, Foxy is like not even a foot away from this guy, about to fucking cleave his face in. But thank God she shuts him down all at the right time. He cuts the connection and he's like, all right, got it. You know, they all shut down at once. The guy that Freddy's attacking, Freddy shuts down. The guy that Bonnie's attacking, Bonnie shuts down. Mangle, who was attacking Vanessa, I'm not going into that. That was fucking stupid ass sequence. Mangle shut down. It all appears safe, so you know he decides to go ahead and leave. He's gonna start heading home, but then all of a sudden Vanessa's like, the animatronics, they're reactivating. Which is like This is when the goofy ass sequence kind of occurs. So Chica lays Abby down in bed. You know, they made it home. She lays her down in bed. And Abby lays down. She hears like some crackling. She rolls over. She looks over. Chica's chest is like kind of cracking open a bit. And then that's when we get our next fucking puppet jump scare. This motherfucker jumps out of nowhere and fucking screams. Anyway, she's possessing Abby now. Abby is now the Slender Man. Vanessa is there now. She comes into the house. She's already possessed. You know, Charlotte starts fucking talking to her because, you know, you find out at the beginning or whatever. She was like her friend in childhood or whatever the hell. She's all grown up now. So so Vanessa's getting chased down by the puppet. Mike ends up getting there. And we see this possessed Abby. And I just want to say, once again, like I said, I don't remember at any point in the series where they could just directly possess people. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe I'm not looking into it hard enough, but I don't remember any point of the series where they could do that. Not only that, the possession is the goofiest fucking thing ever because it elongates their limbs a little bit. They get like the little fucking teary mascara down their face and their eyes like glow. It looks goofy as fuck. And every single shot where we have like a good like clear image of it, it looks goofy as fuck. It looks like shit. Oh, and before we get into it, before Mike gets there, Vanessa's basically being like, they're all going for Abby. I think they're going to go for Abby. He goes back. He's like, I have an idea. He goes back to the old pizzeria. And he's like, guys, Abby's in trouble. I need your help. We really need your help. There's no way we're going to be able to defeat these other animatronics. If you really love her, you'll help. And, you know, nothing happens. No one comes out. He leaves. You know, he gets back to the house. He plays a little music box. The puppet stops possessing Abby. You know, the puppet's no longer possessing Abby. And for some fucking reason, Michael Afton is there. He just fucking comes out of the corner clapping like, oh, bravo. And he goes on this whole monologue talking to Vanessa like, your father, you're his property. We are his family. We need to continue his legacy. So Michael's continuing like the whole legacy of like, oh, yeah, my dad's legacy. I want to build robots and kill children. Which is an odd thing to want to continue. Another thing that kind of upsets me about that, last I checked, and once again, I might be wrong, last I checked in the FNAF lore, Michael doesn't want to do that. That is not something Michael wants to do. He's like the complete opposite. Like, he wants to stop that shit. Whatever. I don't know. I feel like something's off. I don't remember Michael being a bad guy. So basically go on to find out that, like, literally right after Mike left, Michael had come back in there and given the puppet control of the fucking animatronics again, put them back online. So this whole scene plays out. He goes on the monologue and he's like, "Come home, Vanessa." And she's like, "No, this is my home now." And it's like, oh, that's kind of a sweet moment. So Michael's just like, break their bones, kill them, fucking kill them. And before this happens, the crazy fucking thing happens. Remember earlier when I said fucking Mike had gone back to the other location to be like, guys, you gotta help us. They actually fucking show up. Bonnie is the first one to get fucking murked. He gets like fucking torn back by Foxy's hook, and he's there. He fucking tears him to shreds. And then you're just like, huh? All of a sudden, Mangle gets taken out. She's sitting there in the window. Bonnie drags her back. Regular Freddy appears behind Toy Freddy, fucking rips him in half. This is such a weird sequence because they all take care of each other. And you know, the old Chica comes in and fucking dismantles the new Chica. This whole sequence is so funny because the entire time it's just happening one by one. You think one of them would have been alert, been put on guard and like fought back or something, but no, it resolves itself. Nothing bad happens during this sequence. Like, imagine this from the POV of Chica or any of them just not doing shit. They're just like, oh shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, damn. Oh my God. Bonnie just died. Oh my God. They killed Bonnie. Oh my God, Mangle. Oh God, are you seeing this, Freddy? Oh my goodness, Freddy's gone too. And then it just pans back to Chica, and it's just like it's right behind me, isn't it? It's just like they just stand there and take it. Each of them watch each other get murked off one by one and just don't fucking do anything about it. It's so absurdly funny. So, you know, they all die. And then all the old animatronics start dying. And Vanessa's like, oh, it's because of that failsafe thing. They made it out of the Freddys, but they're being drained of their power. Yeah, you know, the fucking, the lock system or whatever the hell. And then the ghost boy just appears out of nowhere because Abby's crying and she's like, no, come back to life. And he's like, yeah, no, we're gonna move on now. We're done possessing these bodies. We've done what we need to do, I think. You know, you'd think that shit would have been resolved in the first movie. You know, they took care of William, but I guess they were just holding him back because he looks at Mike and he's like, oh, by the way, we were holding him back, but he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back to life now, and he's gonna be really fucking strong. You better be prepared for that shit. And Mike is like, who? And he turns back around and he's just fucking gone. Which, I get it. It's the setup for the next movie, but it's so absurdly funny. It's so fucking goofy. And what upsets me even more is you just had that whole thing with Vanessa. She was basically like, this is my home now. And you know, I feel like she had a good arc there. And you think it's going to be okay. And then they're leaving. And Mike is just like, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Don't come near me or Abby. You keep lying to me. You keep holding secrets from me. I don't trust you. Get away from me. On one hand, I understand, but on the other hand, I feel like Mike has kind of been a dick through this whole entire movie. Like, it's so absurd. Oh, and to go on another thing here, as Michael Afton was, like, running out, one of Mike's friends, I didn't talk about him at all, but he gave Vanessa a ride to the place after she found him. He was helping paint the house in the first part of the movie. He's there randomly, and as Michael Afton's trying to run out, he, like, fucking hits him, knocks him over. He's just like, you ain't going nowhere. And after he does that, it's just like, we don't see any more of that. He comes up to like comfort Mike while he's telling Vanessa to fuck off. And I'm just like, so what happened to Michael? I'm like, did you just knock him out and leave him there? Did he just like run off? Did you call the authorities? Did you tie him up? What the fuck is happening with him? Did you even pick him up? Like what? But that whole thing happens, and then the movie ends like this. Vanessa's sitting there at the house, and she's just like, she's upset, you know, because Michael basically told her to fuck off. Puppet comes up behind her, possesses her. It looks goofy as shit, and that's the end of the movie. And if you stayed to the end credits, you see the setup for the next movie where there's these people where they're raiding the Phasmataz pizza place because they're like, we're gonna make a haunted house and we're gonna get all these authentic things. We're make a Freddy Fazbear themed attraction or whatever the hell. You know, they find Springtrap. They're like, come on, let's load them up. And of course, ghost kids they've moved on. They're no longer holding back Mr. Trap. So Mr. William Schaffner is gonna fuck some people up. He's gonna give them the old William Shafton. So yeah, it's pretty much the entire thing. To give basically a my whole rundown of this, should you go see it? Yes. If you're familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, familiar with the property, understand it, you like it, you're gonna like the movie no matter what. It's that kind of thing. The plot, it tries to stick to the lore as much as possible, and I appreciate that. It's very sloppy in a lot of parts. The writing's a little weird. Shit doesn't feel natural. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you went there to see the little robots. You went there to see the little fucking robot bear on the big screen, and you're gonna see the robot bear. You're gonna see 3 different robot bears. My thing is if you have no former knowledge of Five Nights at Freddy's, the first and the second movie, if you have no former knowledge of it, it's not a good experience. I feel like if you're just going in there to learn about Five Nights at Freddy's, it's just not going to make sense. Because there's a lot of shit in this movie where it's supposed to be like, oh, that's the thing. And that's the thing about it. This was a movie that was clearly made for the fans. A lot of movies do this nowadays. Mario movie did it heavily. It's happening with FNAF now. Literally the entire movie is just like, that's the thing. It's Freddy Fazbear. It's literally the entire experience of it is just for you to point and be like, yes. I understood that. That fucking thing. So yeah, if you're someone who likes FNAF, you're gonna like the movie. The thing I will appreciate about this is the fact that it actually feels like it was made with some level of love. Even if it is kind of cringy in a lot of aspects, a little goofy, not that cohesive, it feels like they tried to stick to the lore as much as possible, despite how many things seem just a tad bit out of place. It feels like they truly enjoyed the property they were working with and wanted to make something good. What most companies do nowadays is, they get this big property and they just make the stupidest slop possible because they know, hey, people like this character. It doesn't matter how bad it is. They're going to come and see it regardless. But thankfully, this feels like a movie that actually tried. So no matter how bad it is, I appreciate the fact that they put in an amount of effort. So yeah, if you liked FNAF previously or to any capacity, it's a fun experience. It's a nice movie, a fun little experience. You want to go have a nice time. It's nice. And it's nice to make joke of it or whatever. But if you're someone who has no familiarity with the Five Nights at Freddy's property, you have no idea what this is about, you're going in blind, it's not going to be a great movie experience. I'm sorry. It really is just, it's completely fan service. If you want to get into like these characters, this lore in this universe, it's honestly better to just go and binge watch Game Theory. I feel like you'll have a more fun time doing that. It's a more interesting time. MatPat is very good at laying out the story, putting all the pieces together. It's very intriguing through and through. But yeah, I just wanted to flesh out my content a bit more. I just want to be able to come on here, talk about some goofy ass shit, call it a day, and not make a big stink about it. So yeah, that was FNAF 2. Yeah.